Pam, 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 pam. Yeah, you're welcome back. And thank you so much for your patience, okay? Now, let me tell you this beforehand. On the People's Parliament, you are free to speak your mind, speak your truth, put your face behind your words. If na me you want tackle, okay, just be prepared. Don't stutter, okay? Don't come here and start becoming mumbo jumbo. In fact, I say I'm trying to. Okoma embarrass family and I won't. You might be old person or young person. It doesn't matter. If now because of me you won't join. Normally, don't join because of me. Or me, I've spoken my mind. No. I mean, whatever you say here, I can join you, have a chat, and then you have just 5 minutes. Speak your truth, say your thing. Don't apologize. Don't apologize. Just say your stuff. I just want to make I tell you now. Now the caveat be that. You know what they call the caveat, so that you don't come here and be. I mean, if you come for me, Mayegun, I have the right to defend myself. I don't go sit down here. They say make you they talk rubbish. Sure, you get. I won't do that. Mayegun, let me speak. Let me speak. Like, I don't care. I could be like that. So no one they act surprise. So if you want to come for me, just make sure that you are coming with something factual. I will be so happy to listen. Apart from that, I will declare the parliament open. And when I tell you to stop, even if you still have so much to say, I know time waits for no one. You just have to stop. And if you feel like what you want to say, somebody just said it, you can just add little to it. Save us that time. Yield the mic. Apart from that, People's Parliament is always a mixture of everything. Okay? And the most important of it is that it is always interesting. Fresh points, new ideas, new viewpoints, another perspective from other people. And you just have to listen and listen to different variety of opinions. So, my parliamentarians who are already waiting in the lobby, if you can hear me, please turn on your cameras. We need a well-lit room, no distraction. If you can go to another room to do this, it's great. Mute your microphones as well. Please do that. Don't unmute until it's your turn to talk or speak. Apart from this, I think we can manage any other chaos that may occur, since none of this is scripted. So we just take it as they come. And thank you so much for participating, by the way. Remember, a well-lit room, no much distraction. Keep the camera on. put on a cloth. Sorry about that. You need to put on a shirt in a way that it is presentable. Please, if you are joining us, put on a shirt. Baba, why you they laugh now? Put on a shirt. Don't lie down in your bedroom. Please don't do that. Don't lie down in your bedroom like somebody like this with the phone. Please respect us, okay? There are people who are actually like are following this, and it is not just for fun, okay? Please don't make it awkward. And please mute your microphone, like I said. And I'm welcoming the parliamentarian one by one. The link is everywhere. It's on Facebook. It's also on YouTube. At a time, we are going to shut down the broadcast on Facebook. And if you still want to be part of this, you can join us on YouTube. So put on the name, put on your shirt, put on the lights, save any distraction, and if possible, stay away from this broadcast in another room. It helps as well. And how are you, everyone? You can just wave, because if all of you say, hey, it's just going to be chaos. So thank you very much. If you can hear me loud and clear, you are welcome to the People's Parliament. A lot has been happening, and I bet all of you have a lot to say. Here, you can say whatever you want. Okay, brilliant. Say what you think we should know. Share with us what you think is valuable as an information that we can pick from. Apart from that, just have fun. Be yourself and speak your mind. You are welcome. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to share the slots, and I'm going to address you by your what do you call it? By your names there. Okay, so we stick to that. And like I said, once you finish speaking, just don't worry. I'll help you out so that we can admit other people. Another thing, please save yourself that portion of Mayegun, you are this, Mayegun, you are that. At the end of the day, by the time you are done, you may not have more than a minute or two to actually say what you want to say. And it kind of sucks, right? Especially if you have waited for long, okay? I appreciate every accolade. I enjoyed them, but I don't want you to spend all your slots doing that, okay? So let's start with the people that, if I hang on. So I know we have a lot of people who are already waiting. I expected to have at least 12 of us on, but if your room is too dark, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. Okay, I know a lot of you are also trying to join. You are all going to join, all right? And we'll share the time. So let's get started. So for now, I'm going to let Sir Oludare Adediran. You are going to open the floor, okay? And please, once I am like that, you can just round it up, and even if it's not enough, if the time is not enough, okay? So 5 minutes, that will be the max. And then from you, we're going to go to, okay, hang on. I think I should start like that. So after yourself, we're going to go to son of Ubinu. Yes, it's going to be you, bro. Then I'm going to go straight to Sir John Unebechukwu. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Unebechukwu. So you are going to go after son of Ubinu. Yes, Baba. Oh, hang on. There is a lady in the house, and usually I kind of love to put them in the mix. Sorry, ma'am. So I am going to let our lady, Titi Lola Duro Price. You are going to go after Sir John Unebechukwu. Then Des will go after her. Okay. Sorry, guys. So then Mende Gabriel, Idris Mayegun. I want you to relax so that you'll be able to assimilate some of this whole chart, because yours can be personal experience, which is also very valuable too. So let's get started. Sir Oludare Adediran, sir. You can unmute now, please. Your time starts now.
Thank you very much, Mayegun. Good evening.
Yes, sir.
I'm very happy to meet you today. This will be my first time on your program. I've been watching you a lot of time. In fact, I will firstly thank you for the great work you have been doing in my personal life. Not to talk of many Nigerians' life. So far, you open my heart, you open my eye, you open everything about me concerning Nigeria. Honestly, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate. You know, based on Nigeria, you know, everything you have been saying concerning Nigeria, the gimmicks of the politicians and their followers, the way they trade Nigeria, the way they do everything in their own personal people, irrespective of what will happen thereafter. You open my eye a lot to see, and I confirm it. Even in religion matter aspect, every aspect they have been using, they use tribalism, they use religion, everything. I'm seeing them. Even they are practicing it at present. It's happening. I'm in Oyo State. It's happening right now in Oyo State, based on coming election of governorship, and I've seen it a lot in that presidential election just conducted. And my own side is just to have a very decent man to be in that position. Not of this one, they just declare winner of the election. Well, you know, we have limited power as Nigerians.
How was the reaction? I mean, at least in one Oyo, sure you get. So
yes.
How was the reaction? You are from there. Just tell us, how was it like?
Actually, based on the presidential election, you know, there is one adage that is common among Yoruba that meanwhile, we still see some of we Yorubas, even in Oyo State, that believe this is not a matter of let's put the right peg in the right hole. So many voted on that matter, and even it affects Seyi Makinde based on coming election now, because there are some people hiding under the condition of he supported Kolu to have won the election, and some of his members of his party for senatorial posts and the House of Rep, they lost their posts to the people.
He's on his own now. That he should not call them for any re-election. We are hearing everything. Even Ladoja came out to endorse Folari. How is that?
That's you know, right from the beginning, they started the journey with Seyi Makinde based on coalition and alliance forming, all sort of that. When he wanted to win the 4 years, just going to an election. So now, you know, many of them, they have grudges against him based on the disappointment they met after the election. So up to now, based on everything, they are using religion now. To make sure he's not winning the second time. They are using religion, they are using everything against him.
Wow.
And the people that just lost the senatorial position and the House of Rep positions, they are even not, they are unhappy.
Wow.
Some disguised, some just opened their grievances that, see, we are going to vote for the unity you said you are voting for. You know, when he was interviewed, he said, they said, who are you going to vote for in the presidential election? I said, he's going to vote for unity. So many of them are now using that quote that no problem. This coming election of the governorship, we are going to vote for unity too.
Thank you so much, Sir Oludare. Your time is up, and is quite an interesting way to open the parliament. I love the fact that the light is on, the network is fine, and I'm happy to meet you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to meet you too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So let's go to the next, my guy, son of Ubinu.
What's up, bro? Yeah, you pronouncing that right. It's a real pleasure, bro. For real.
Cheers, man. Cheers. How you doing?
It's really, I'm well, sir. I'm well. So how you doing?
Well, surviving. As long as I show up for the service, I think everybody here will believe that I'm fine. So yes, I am.
But like I said, this is like you. I stumbled upon your program like 5 months ago. You know,
right?
You're really interesting guy. Like you're a comedian. To me, you're a comedian. Like straight up, you're a comedian. I don't know if you know that. Straight up.
Do you mind? Do you mind if I share a story with you? Right?
Please.
When I was just about 14 years, I had a role model.
Mhm.
His name was Benga Deboye, right?
Okay.
And he was kind of so multi-talented. He was meant to be a comedian,
Mhm.
but some people, he's a musician. To
Okay.
others, he's like a philosopher. To others, he's actually like a political analyst. He seems to be
Oh,
so,
compassion.
it blends into all, you know what I mean? So I admired him so much. So I wanted to pick up on.
That's what happens when you speak the truth.
Do you get that? So
Yeah.
I decided I was going to become a radio presenter. So I approached his office at Ojodu. That's
Ojudu
a square.
beggar, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, but I didn't have money, right? And I could have gotten right,
Mhm.
but I didn't know. So I went back and something happened. He died. Then he woke. I was the happiest. Then he died again. And I was like,
Wait.
that's,
I just want to die, wake up, and die again.
you know what I mean? Like, that's it. I will never be a radio presenter. But here I am.
You much better. I think that was a good thing because this is much better for you, more exposure.
Thanks so
The,
much,
the,
Prof.
the thing I wanted to say is you said something. Even it's funny because you predicted this situation in Nigeria. You said, and I quote, "They will rig you in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it." When you said that, I was like, that's impossible. That this is I read. This is big. I read it. You feel me? I read the everything. And I was like, this makes sense. Like, there's no way they can rig. You said they're gonna rig you in front of you and tell you to go to the court. This was 3 months ago. And I was like, even if they're gonna rig this, they're gonna have to do it sophisticated. Like they're gonna be sophisticated with it. But when I looked at this nonsense, like how will somebody look at that and
Mm.
say Biafra shouldn't have their own land? Like they purposefully, like they didn't even try. Tipex, chicken scratch. My brother, we spent 350 billion on that thing.
That's charade.
350 billion. My brother, we are the headquarters of just we're impunity. My God, that's the number one problem.
In
Like
place of anyhowness.
corruption is everywhere. Is in
Mhm.
Scotland, is in UK, is in US. But
No,
impunity,
no country on earth is
there
spared
is
of
no
corruption.
country on earth that has the impunity that we have.
But
People
Nigeria,
be doing wrong stuff in front of the camera, and they'll tell you there's nothing you can do about it in front of the camera because they know the people that did it yesterday got away with it, so they'll get away with it, and the people in future will get away with it as well. Impunity is
but
our problem.
that's why I was asking that. I said it in sequence. I said they're going to rig you,
You
and they're going
said
to
that
do it so.
plain. You said that plain.
You will do it brazenly that you will
You said
feel
that
it.
as well.
Like you'll be so insulted to say, what kind of rigging is this?
Nah,
Right?
that
Then I said,
any
what are you going to do?
Nigerian.
Because they have planned for you. They know if they rig, they will tell you to go to court. Now, if you go to court, they have planned for you. Now, there is something that is different about Nigeria and the rest of the world that you can't compare. Okay, is that when you get to a stage, everybody will now realize that the interest that allowed Tinubu to rig like this,
Hmm.
they are bigger than Tinubu that you are seeing. And at that point, they will now bring what they call because of
Government of
national.
national unity.
No, they
They're
call
already
it.
bringing it.
They say because of national security, they cannot cancel this election. It's faulty. We agree. It's one of the worst. In fact, INEC must do better next time. But for the sake of national security, we can cancel it. Now, you want to say, okay, no, we're going to hit the street. Who are you going to hit the street with? The soldiers that can't defend Boko Haram, defend Nigeria against Boko Haram. Didn't you see them during the election? They were
Doing absolutely nothing.
They were buying weapons to suppress Nigerians for a period like this. When they rig and they announce results, the plan is beyond that rigging you are seeing. It's far, far beyond that. That's when I was
That's why.
asking, when they rig
That's
you,
why they were buying those heavy machinery. I saw that. I was like, oh, he's buying it, for the election, not knowing he was buying it against his own citizens.
it's a
Nigeria elected a dictator on purpose. After he has done the dictating, he's not the same man that scuttle democracy. My brother, how do we get here? That we elected a dictator on purpose. And you are angry that he's not obeying court order. He does not believe in democracy. Of course, he's not going to obey court order because he does not believe in it. Like, we should all be. I know you don't care. you don't care about the country, but we should all be angry. No, collectively, we should all be insulted. They
I mean, if
spend the money we don't have.
we don't care, we won't be here. And you know why we cannot uncare is this. We have now figured out, a lot of people have figured out, in fact, through this platform, that you may pretend to ignore the problems in Nigeria.
You
But
won't
that can
ignore you,
be
though.
publicly, but privately, we all know what we are dealing with. We've got families, we've got friends, we've got some of us actually have investment in that Nigeria.
My high school friends are still back there, man.
Do you get that?
Telling me the struggle every day. I'm like, bruh, these are doctors, by the way.
See?
Youth.
So how can you not feel concerned when you can wake up tomorrow and the call or text you receive is that, bro, save my life. They have kidnapped me. It will start like a joke. Usually, if somebody texts you and say, I've been kidnapped, you'll probably be like, oh, brother, please, I don't have time for this joke. If anybody put that on you right now, your blood will shot in a way that you'll be like, oh my God, Nigeria, bro, it's been a pleasure.
The pleasure is on mine, sir. The pleasure is on mine. Appreciate it.
You have a wonderful time over there.
Sir.
So I'll go to Sir John to have sorry, 1 second. To have his shot. Sir, you can actually unmute now. So please. How you doing?
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Mayegun.
You're so welcome.
I really appreciate the work you're doing. I know you said we should save all the accolades, but you need all the accolades in the world.
I mean,
and you deserve it. You're doing an amazing work, and God will continue to bless you.
Amen.
You know, I'm calling you from Nigeria. I'm domiciled in Nigeria with my family.
Oh, bless you.
So you can imagine how frustrating, being in Nigeria is at a time like this. But one thing.
How do you actually you are there right now? This is
Exactly.
media where they believe that things are being exaggerated. But when this conversation of Igbos versus Yoruba up and down has been flying, people's properties being destroyed, and yourself being there right now, you could tell us, is it actually real?
Mayegun, it's real, and at times it's even underreported because it's only the ones that get to the media, that is reported. And sadly enough, you get to talk to some people, you get to speak to some people that you feel are intellectually sound. And somehow you see them even making excuses for these politicians that have brought us to where we are today. It's crazy. And that is why I so much appreciate the kind of work you're doing, because it's like, someone that have sat on a heap of dung for very long. It gets to a time that you don't even perceive the stench coming from that dung. But what you tried to do, or what you've constantly done, is to remind us that you're actually sitting on a heap of dung. So even if you have lost that sense of smell, someone is there telling you that where you're sitting is you're in big shit, and you really need to
this is
that
thinking.
So it's amazing and so surprising that intellectuals, people that call themselves intellectuals, or people that say they are sound, they keep backing some of these politicians. I mean, it's just crazy. I have a friend that I've been following for quite a long time. And I have a friend also that once in a while he comes and see, me watching your videos, and he will like, this guy is confused. You don't know if he's fighting for Yoruba freedom or freedom of Yoruba nation, or he's a politician or supporting, some of these politicians. And I said, that is my own interpretation of, or the response I give to him. I said, Nigeria, it's, how do I put it? We're all looking for something, for the same thing. We're looking for somewhere that we will be valued, for somewhere where the systems work, somewhere where we're well governed and all of that. And however we get to that place, you know, it mustn't be a straight road to get to that place, right? So it's just like some comments you made back then during the campaigns and all of that. You said, yeah, this obedience, they're actually going to, you know, change the narrative. And even if they don't, you know, get what they want, it's actually that catalyst that we need for our liberation, either for Yoruba nation or for, you know, Biafra and all of that, right? Because when we eventually get to this point, I can remember vividly you predicted all this, you know, and you said when we eventually get to this point and everybody will just feel it's just over. We can't, this road, you know, it's just it's leading to nowhere.
On.
Yeah,
Just for the sake of our viewers, okay, you have raised and defended a very valid point, okay. What happened is this: the next time, okay, you would probably add this to what you have told such person, an individual, right? Mayegun's diary political is like a melting pot for everyone that has acknowledged the victim, victimhood, the marginalization, the injustice, the impunity that Nigeria represents. That if all of us pay attention very well, we realize that it is the bad leadership in Nigeria. I mean,
yeah,
historically, that has now accumulated the level of division Nigeria is experiencing today. And as many have agreed, Nigeria has never been this divided. APC, did that happen, right? So
yeah,
if we are all victims of a ruining Nigeria and we want to leave, we need to understand why we are living. Because if a lot don't, that's why we still have those who are fighting for that one Nigeria. And I said, look at the obedience. They are going to be their karma. And at the same time, they are also going to be those who are going, I mean, they are also going to learn what others have learned about Nigeria, okay, that made them believe that Nigeria can't work. Even when you wish Nigeria well, even when you put everything in it, there are some people, their job is to make sure that that never happens. And as long as that continues, it's just a matter of time before Nigeria finally breaks. So Mayegun is here to make everyone understand that. Then you can then choose. Do you want to go and fight for one Nigeria? Or you're actually going to actually fight for something that is better than that? How would you do that if you don't understand? So I appreciate that, John. And thank you so much, okay? Let me take
thank,
more because of our time, all right? That's quite
thank you
brilliant.
very much.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
My regards, Nice one. So we're going to go to the Our Lady. I don't know what happened. It seems that I keep losing the connection to some of hang on, some of our parliamentarians. So let's see. Right. Lady Duro Prize. Ma. So you can unmute so that, yeah, please.
Yes. Thank you, Mayegun. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you for all what you've been doing in our lives. I actually try my best to share your program through WhatsApp because some people don't even have Facebook. So I go to YouTube. Most people have YouTube channel. So I go to YouTube to send it and they call me later, but some are stubborn and I just call them morons because they don't see anything. And unfortunately, there is no light, so they don't know what is happening. They've purposely put them in darkness. And I mean darkness. So it is very hard for them to know what is happening, even within their locality. They sent me out of Nigeria since 1990. I've been on exile. Like I call myself, yes, I'm on exile because I couldn't get a job. So I left Nigeria in 1990, and I'm so surprised that people are still there up till now. They still don't know what is happening. And when I tell them, they say, oh, really? I said, yes. Can't you see? My mom wanted me to get married that time, and I said, I'm not. If I can't get a job, how will my children get a job? So I left 1990. And thank God I got into London safely, and the rest is history.
That's
And
right.
I keep telling myself I can't thank God enough that I left when I left, because I told my mom if I'm still in Nigeria, she would have died anyway.
Hmm.
And she asked me what would kill her. I said, how many of your friends are still alive? All of them are dead. They are dead. Their hunger has killed them. So
Hmm.
I said, me, if I'm still in Nigeria, I would have done something to myself, or something would have happened to me. I trust myself. I can't stay in that situation.
Hmm.
So for them, I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. I get worried every day. And when I get up, I just look and I look back. And there was a time I told my sister-in-law, I said, if I can see somebody to borrow me a jet, I'll just go and carry all my family and then bring them here. Then I don't need no visa. You know, the case is so volatile. And the worst part is they are not educated enough to know what is happening around them. And when I ask them, are you going to vote?
What about
Yes.
self-denial, man? Some of them actually live in denial too. Like, is it just us? Is it only in Nigeria that we have poor people? Ni? Is it only in Nigeria that we have bad leaders? Ni? Are there no other? You know what I mean? They live in denial too.
And when I say, what about kidnapping? They say, oh, don't they kidnap in England?
Don't be kidnapped elsewhere.
Can you imagine this? And I just tell them, well, Nigeria will happen to you. Ah, why are you cursing us?
Hmm.
It's sad. It's so pathetic. And I just think, how are we going to start to educate them? You are trying a lot in my Mayegun. Thank you so much.
Thank
God bless Agbekeo. She's a very good woman. I can't imagine my husband coming online every day. I mean, I would have seized his voice.
you. Tried. This thing come easy too, man. It's just that at the early stage, she did try to, you know what I mean? Like, but eventually, you know, when you find out that you can't stop this guy, I mean, it seems that you can't really change him. So you just have to
Yeah.
support him. That's what
Okay.
I'm yeah.
And thank God for Caleb and Leila. They are very good. If it was my children, they will come online.
This is also thanks to Agbeke that always keep them like where they should, you know. I
I
mean, we can't
know.
thank her enough. And thank you, man, for even like,
Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye,
bye bye, man.
everyone.
Thank you. Take care. So that's a good one. We're going to go to Des now. And after Des, we are going to go to Idris Mayegun Jr., okay? But however, I've got other people added anyway. I have Sir Debola there observing. I have Sir Kenneth also waiting. Ken, it's good to have you again tonight anyway. So yeah, I have Excel, which I am going to wait till the time that you actually pack to speak. Well, you can enjoy us that way, sir. No distraction, okay? So, Ajia, Sahid, I don't know if I should call you Ajia anyway, so I'm just going to say, you know, that's not showing up fully anyway. So, Ekwonu, that's Said Ekwonu. So I'll take to that, ma'am. So, now what we're going to do is that let's share the slots after Idris. Okay. I will let Lady Chinyere, ma'am. So we will let the ladies go after Idris, okay, to clear the space for others, right? So Lady Chinyere, you go after Idris, and then our lady as well, Said, you go after her. Then I'm gonna go straight to. Oh, you're there, Becky. Great, ma. I nearly missed you, but I'm glad you actually showed face. So you're gonna go after our second lady, Said Ikwonu, right? Then the men will actually put a crown on whatever you have to add for us tonight. So without wasting much time, let's go to Des. Sir, we can't
Yeah.
see your face for some reason. Maybe you just need to
Uh,
just kind of, you know, move the camera a bit. If that is
okay, this is
oh,
me.
brilliant, sir. You're a pilot.
Yeah. No, no, I'm not.
All right, grand.
Um,
Please.
yeah. Good afternoon, Maya Good and everybody.
Good
Um,
afternoon, sir.
it's glad to be on your show. So I'm glad to be on your show anyway. I'm gonna make a few comments and I'm gonna end it with a question. I was gonna ask you a question after I make my comment. So I know I'm not one of the people that believe Nigeria should destroy or whatever up until this election. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna lie, because I always need a reason or something. I'm sort of a guy that wants a genuine reason to think like that. But this election gave me the reason I wanted, which is, when Nigeria was formed, 1914 by Frederick Lugard, the parties there was in, I think, Action Group Party by Awolowo, NPC, Northern People's Congress by is it Tafawa Balewa, and the one with Nnamdi Azikiwe. So when all this party contested for election, they all voted in a certain way, which is a tribal way. Everybody voted according to tribe. And Nigeria that was formed to be united, started off in a really bad foot. That was 60, almost 70 years ago. And now, fast forward in 2023, after everything that Nigeria has passed through, we have almost the same kind of election, you know, again, the same pattern. And now, almost everybody voted in a particular way again. So I begin to wonder, how many years have it been and we have not even learned our lesson and we're still doing the same, making the same mistake and thinking that this country is moving forward. I realize that we are in the back, we are in the Stone Age. There's no forward for Nigeria, to be honest with you. And I'm very disengaged with this election. I'm a very person that I used to be very engaged in this election. I wasted a lot of money, traveled to Nigeria to vote. So I was very engaged. But this showed me that there's no hope for Nigeria, Mayegun, and there's nothing anybody can say about it, whether P2B wins or I don't care. That's just the truth. But I'm gonna end with this question because I don't have much time.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
I like thinking practical, Mayegun. So Nigeria, according to whatever, I think they're owing about 40 something trillion right about now in debt. So I wanted to give you this question. If the Biafran gets what they want and the Oduduwas and whoever else that is clamoring for you know their own country gets what they want, who inherits that debt? Omayegun? Just answer this
Well, I
question,
think that
please.
question has been answered when that was raised during the conversation around this independence. Okay, Prof. They said that normally, right now, they just take all our money from everywhere to service the debts. But when Nigeria gets to a stage that we have to go our separate ways, everybody will be allocated his own share of the debts based on the federal, the federal budget, federal structure or infrastructure in your region. Because what happens is this, you have to keep them. If they build railway for you, airport and all of that, right? You will keep them when you get your new country. So if they don't build any for you, you don't have any, you don't have any reason to pay for what you never had, right? So that's what they said that will actually help to solve that question of who will pay the over 70 trillion naira Nigeria debt. It's actually over 70 trillion, bro, not 40. So in this regard, we in Yoruba land, they will calculate all of the federal structures, any structure built with federal money in Nigeria, okay? They will calculate them. Any of them that actually offers any debt, okay? Then we will now negotiate the payment back. There is also arguments against that too. You know what the argument is? For those who are saying that they don't owe Nigeria any debt, they don't owe anybody any kobo, and Nigeria owe them money. They said that if resources that have been extracted from them in the past 60 years in the name of Nigeria, if the value of that resources are being put forward today, now the rest of the world, the whole independent countries out of Nigeria, not them owing debt in Nigeria. So the argument is extensive, but we can start from what did they do in your area when Nigeria was together? What did they use federal money, oil money to do in your area? You get what I mean? That will begin the conversation. So, Prof, Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you, bro.
For joining us. Okay, let me go straight to another parliamentarian here, and that is going to be Idris. How are you, bro?
Yeah, good evening, sir. Am I audible? Okay, sir. Yes, if I don't know if I'm audible, sir. Am I?
Yeah, you are. You are audible. Everybody can hear you.
Okay.
Though the network is dodgy,
Okay. Yeah,
the room
this
is
is
not
Nigeria.
very neat, but we can manage it.
This is
Go on.
Nigeria. We don't have lights. We don't have lights. So I'm actually using the screen of my laptop to for the illumination. Well, Sir Maigun, if IQ was a course in the university, you should be one that teaches it, because the level of your intelligence is mind blowing, and I'll keep saying that the Lord will continue to bless your knowledge.
Amen, Baba.
And yeah, I keep telling people that the elite, I mean the politicians, that they've used weaponized poverty and ignorance to manipulate the minds of the people, and they keep objecting mental slavery to us. The hungry masses are no longer interested in the truth. They rather accept the lies in exchange for sentimental and financial gain. But sooner, I think sooner they will find out that they are the one that are being manipulated. There's something that we talk about: truth. These politicians, they keep the truth away from us, and the truth will liberate the people from mental slavery, which I know sooner or later. The politicians do not want that to be reviewed. They don't want that to be revealed. So they rather continue to operate on a society of lies and characteristic assassination. The truth.
That's a character assassination. I mean, assassination. Go on, Baba.
Assassination, yes. Yes. So I wonder why, as a in this Nigeria, that money that it is supposed to be a legal tendency for us to be spending, that we are still using our own money to buy another money. Imagine going to a POS to collect, let's say, 10,000 naira, then I use almost like 3,000 naira to offset the money I want to collect.
Buying money. I mean, the central bank says the central bank says it's legal now, that everybody should take the money. Like,
Samaegu, I'm in Nigeria.
Let me play you a video, right? A woman said the only thing that will make them to collect the old money is if they feel it, they should collect it. Watch this.
Ṣé wá rí old note ìgbà tí lóòótọ́ ilé ẹjọ́ sọ pé ká mọ̀ gbà àti ẹ̀ tí rẹ̀ nìkan kan kò tiẹ̀ mú wá bí ni èmi bí ẹnìkan mi tí rẹ̀ nìkan kan kó mú 500 wá tàbí 1,000 wá. N lè gbàǹgbà tí arúgbó ni mí ń bo mo ti fẹ́ na mi lè gbà ní kúkúrú èdè, in short.
So until
tí Buhari àti Ofemele tí wọ́n bá sọ pé ká mọ̀ gbà á mọ̀ gbà. Ṣé wá.
You hear that? Mama said, kúkúrú in short, àwọn ò lè gbà. So you are spending money.
What is going on. So that is exactly what's going on. If I have the money now, to spend it will be very difficult for me, because nobody will collect the money, especially the people, these Yaolojas, because they will not even want to collect the money. So we are still waiting.
That, because people are not, the people don't have money to buy. Even those who want to sell, because people are not buying, they are also losing, because people, like, for example, people who are selling eggs, banana, perishable goods. Is that true? Is that true? I think.
Okay.
Yeah, go on. I think. Yeah. Go.
Okay. Yes. So that aside, so now coming to this, especially the Lagos now, that they are talking about tribalism. I think something this morning, is it this morning or yesterday, about this morning, the Elliot, that he went to a church, that he was not saying that he's from Igbo extraction, that probably his mom is from Igbo. So I was not like, man, so it has not become like this, that Igbo and Yoruba sentimental this thing. So because I believe that human being comes first. So why should a tribe? Why should tribe has to do with that we should be fighting on? And so I want to understand something. I grew up in knowing this thing. So I want you to please explain to me, sir. In Yoruba, they say that they normally call these Igbos Ajokutama Mumi. And to me, in my own Yoruba knowledge, I understand that this Ajokutama Mumi is some. I don't think as in Yoruba is that to me it's very insultive. So I don't understand why they keep calling these Igbos Ajokutama Mumi, and they keep placing them on the minority.
Let me explain something to you, Idris. We have a problem with that network, okay? So I'm going to excuse you because your time is also up, okay? But for the sake of my viewers, all right? If we take politics out of a lot of things generally, all right? We banter, okay? The Igbos, they call the Yorubas Ofe Manu. And it is actually not an insult. Do you get that now? Ofe Manu is because the Igbos, they don't eat that too much palm oil like us. So for the Yorubas that actually lived in Igbo land, they said, you know us, we cook with a lot of oil. That's who we are. Ofe Manu is simply people that eat lots of oil. Ajokutama Momi is not a derogatory word against Igbos. Yorubas arrived at that word Aje Okuta Mamu Omi in Yoruba land. For some of us who actually grew up with Igbos or people from Eastern Nigeria, we believe that when they eat their eba, it is stronger than our own. Yorubas, when Yoruba make eba, yeah, we make our eba softer, sometimes watery. So we watch the Easterners, who are like the Igbos or people from the eastern part of Nigeria. When they eat their eba solid and stronger. Do you get that? So sometimes they jokingly, right? They will say, if I throw this akpu on the wall, it will bounce back. That's a correct akpu that will last longer and it won't digest easily. So this is all saying the people that eat a food that is as strong as stone and they don't even drink, how are they swallowing it? Do you see this too now? We got all this from our relationship of living together, either in Eastern Nigeria or in Western Nigeria. But politically, they will continue to tell you, Igbos don't sell land to Yorubas. These are the people that have never crossed Ore. It's sad, Abi. Let's go to another one. Idris, enjoy your evening, okay? So I am going to go to the ladies in the house. So the three ladies are going to speak. Then the four noblemen who are here will share the remaining slots. So we are going to start with Excel. Excel has finally found a parking space, and he's going to spend the next 20 minutes with us before before he leaves. So then we're going to go to Sir Adebola Adeyemi, sir. In case if anything happened that you dropped off, I'll get you back on if you come back, okay? Also, Ken's casts. Sir, you will hold the last baton. Now, it's going to be from you. We're going to move to other new entrants, parliamentarians, okay? But let's start with the first lady, Sahid Ikwonu. Ma'am, I just felt like I should start calling you Ajia. You see this? Because of that, your head cover, I mean, I'm sorry if that comes out wrong in any way, but I just kind of feel like, Ajia. Anyway, how are you, ma?
Very well, thank you, Mayugu.
Great. See your face. Anyway, so, yeah, please.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma.
It's a great pleasure to join you on this program.
Thank you, ma.
I mean, I've got my notification on, so once you're on, I'm on with you. It's great to it's great work you're doing. I really want to appreciate you.
Thanks.
Because when people go to school, sometimes they don't go through schools, you know, and so at some point they need a reminder. They need to be re-educated. And so that's the kind of work you are doing, because in the midst of hustling, people forget what they have learned, even forget who they are. So you're supposed to remind each other at some point. This is what is called sermon when I was growing up, not prosperity or whatever it is they're preaching now. The sermon is supposed to remind you, recall you for who you are, you know, so that you don't forget your roots, you don't forget your purpose. So, which brings me to what son of Ubinu talked about. He said, how did we get here? We got here because we forgot who we are. We forgot our purpose. Like Obi said, it's God's will, they tell us. Is it God's will that the whole lot of us are so poor? The percentage of people who are poor? Is it God's will that the children who don't go to school and who are so lacking in everything? Is it God's will? When you have the means, after all, God has created us. It is that brain He gave us that people use in making aeroplane and the likes, cars, that is making life easy for you. So why won't you just do some other things? But because people are so mean, this is what the leaders have done. Again, who are we as a people? We have been given this brain to use for a purpose. You can't just swallow whatever anybody tells you. I mean, you tell me something, but I've also got my own brain to look at it, weigh the options. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Compare it also to some other circumstances around you or scenarios, and make sense of it. If it doesn't make sense, ask questions. I don't know when we got to a level where we don't ask questions anymore. But like I was discussing with my husband earlier, again, this is who we are. Yoruba people, when I was growing up, if you ask your parents, they tell you something, don't do this, and you ask why, you are in trouble, because they'll tell you, why are you questioning me?
Like
they believe once they tell you, you just do it without asking questions. And that is why when they tell them anything, they follow.
That's right.
Being like Mumu, they just follow like that. Whatever, like you just described earlier, yeah, Igbo tiwa gbalewa. Okay, Igbo tiwa gbalewa, Igbo tiwa gbalewa, and that's it. No question.
No question
not
asked.
Not even with the benefit of an insight, like, are there no benefit to this thing? So it's just that you expect me to believe it.
That's it. Don't question it. Or are you Omo Aleni? When you are not Omo Aleni, why are you questioning your elders? Did you not grow up in Yoruba land where they told you don't question your elders if you want to grow old? Come on, man. How far has that helped us? How far?
It has not got us anywhere.
Help us.
So this is why that is how we got to where we are.
That's right.
So anyway,
thank you so much, Mark. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you. Thank you so much for helping people to make informed choices, because the education and reminder, this is what it does. People can then make informed choices. Sadly, illiteracy has taken over way too deep,
Right.
But then don't give up, okay?
I won't, Ma. And thank you so much for always spending your evening anyway with me.
Thank you.
I mean, that's something that a lot of people don't actually know how much I appreciate that, okay? Because, I mean, it's like keeping faith. And then I see your faces as well, kind of give me that reassurance that indeed, I'm doing something. Right. I appreciate you, Ma. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right. All right. So now, Ken, you disappeared on me earlier. But you know something, right? I am going to ask you to please indulge me a little bit more I've got ladies who are they look like they are so much burning inside, they want to let out. So yeah, I'll go back to the Chinyere, ma'am. That will be you, please.
Thank you so much, Mayugo, for this platform. I'm actually excited to be here, and I ran into your series like 1 week ago, and it was, what did Igbos do to you? That caught my attention. But before I continue on a lighter mood, I don't know. I think it was Des that said something about how do we distribute the debt. Hopefully, we the Igbos don't get any. We don't get to pay anything.
You don't have to worry about much.
Yes.
God, like
yes, because
the table, if that should be the conditions, then you have less to worry about. Yeah.
Exactly. So hopefully we don't get anything. And then the Ajokutamamu meeting, it could be termed derogatory on one aspect, on another aspect is not. The way I understand it is not the way you explained it. Ajokutamamu to me is that we can be so wealthy, Igbo people, we can have a lot of money, but maybe we don't spend it like you Yorubas. You
like
life. Yes, you like to enjoy life and spend your money. We don't do that. So that we hold our money tightly, and that means that we eat stone and we don't drink water. That's literally what it means.
That's something, right? All my life, throughout my childhood, right, it was actually all about food.
See?
I mean, I'm not saying that this interpretation and all of that stuff could mean so many things. Depends on who is saying it. You know what I mean, right?
Exactly.
I can tell you this, that a lot of Yorubas will actually confirm this to you. To say it actually has nothing to do with. But again, I am hearing that for the first time. It's quite, that's derogatory. Yeah, that's derogatory.
Yeah, it's derogatory, but it could be true sometimes.
I was never taught that.
So, and then what he said before this election, I would say I'm pan-Nigerian. I would have liked us to be together. I'm against some of the things they're doing in the East. That's not the way to even fight for Biafra. But with this election, I just tuned off completely. So to me, as an Igbo woman, it's like nobody likes us and they don't want us to smell power, and which is not right. If we're in the same country, I think we should all have a shot at the presidency. So I think that I now see myself as a slave in Nigeria, and it's kind of very, very painful.
I actually have a name for what they are doing. Severally on this platform, I explained this to so many other people who are non-Igbos. I'm not going to limit it to my Yoruba people, right? I'm talking about even non-Igbos. I said, after what they call the civil war, which I call the state-sponsored genocide, right? What happened after that was a Cold War, which then made the Igbos, the people that are the system, they are being profiled by the system. So if you are an Igbo person, you raise the bar of suspicion, even among Nigerians, for no reason, just for no reason, for just being Igbo.
Yes.
Many will admit to this, that if that is the real feelings, and if anybody disagrees, wait for their elections. And here is the election now. It's all coming out. Now, people are not, they can't hide it anymore.
Yes.
You know what I mean now? So yeah, it's obvious. There is a systemic profiling of Igbos in Nigeria.
And I thank you before I forget. That's actually why I like your program. For you to come out, you're speaking up, you're speaking the truth. If we can have 20 people, 20 Yorubas that have this kind of forum that speak up like you, I think the country will be a better place. Thank you so much for standing up for us, because we did not do anything to anybody. We're just hardworking people that have our own issues like every other tribe. Thank you. That's actually why I love you. I love your program. That if you're not married, I would have given you my sister. Because
there, our lady, right? I appreciate that you actually see me that way, to say thank you to me. I appreciate that a lot, right? But you won't thank me if you actually understand why I'm doing it. You know something? I was reading something about how history of dictators deal with people using religion, race, tribe, anything, any excuse. They just need to say this is wrong. Anybody identify as this, kill them. So there was this saying then that when they came for the socialists, I didn't talk because I'm not a socialist. So they took the socialist. They came for the communist. I didn't say anything because I'm actually not a communist. So I didn't say anything. Then they came for the Catholic. Well, I'm not a Catholic. So they took the Catholic. Then eventually, they came for me. Guess what? There was nobody left to actually speak for me. So when they started the propaganda of Biafra, I knew what I would do on my people, knowing our history and this dirty old stuff, right, in Nigeria. So I took it upon myself to demystify some of the lies because I knew what prompted the Biafrans to say they are done with Nigeria. Marginalization, injustice, and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Every part of Nigeria should be demanding for that if all of us are being serious. Now, when they use any name, anything, to tag the Biafrans, to kill them, when they are done with them, any other person who tries something like that, they will just have a name to tag them and kill them too. And I knew it was going to be the Yorubas next.
Thank you. And finally, people are so brainwashed because of this, their shenanigans. Mm-hmm. And Obi, though he's Igbo, he represents what the youths want. He is the best candidate for Nigeria. I'm not saying it because I'm Igbo, but I think majority of people that voted, including Yorubas and Hausas, know that he is the Messiah, so to speak, in quotes, that we are looking up to. It's not a tribal thing, and people should not see that as a tribal thing. And if we're that bad, why are we intermarrying? My younger brother is married to a Yoruba lady. It just baffles me the way people think, and people are branding this and making it. It's just terrible. But thank you. The society is hopeless, and it's so much pain that it's a handful of Nigerians holding all of us on our jugular. Just a handful, and we're just helpless. But we're hoping that God helps us. And thank you. You will never lack, and you will keep speaking, and everything will be well for you. Thank you. God bless you.
And you too. Thanks so much for spending your evening with us. Just like so, I have lost Lady Becky. What happened? Are you there? Oh, yeah, found you. Brilliant, ma'am. So you can unmute. It's your turn. Please go on.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please, you all have to bear with me for my English. I'm not so learned.
Talk to us and how you take comfortable, right? Speaker, as long as you don't say we can follow. So please, fire, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mayoga. I know you said we should not accommodate you, but we can't do without, because you are just the best. Like, I watch you, I watch other platform. So I really thank you for that.
Thank you.
Firstly, I want to say about what our sister just said. Like, if there are, just an addition, if there are temp like you in Yoruba, I don't think it's only Yorubas that need this. I think it's everybody, such as Igbo as well. Because there are some Igbo, like, they don't want, now they're married to other, but they don't want to hear anything about Yoruba. Mostly after this election, what is happening, they thought it's tribalism, the way the politicians are making it. But if we are sensible enough, I think, just look at the people, the politicians, those occultist politicians, those mafias, because they have become mafias over the years, terrorizing people. The highest killer in Nigeria are politicians. So I think we need more of Mayogu in different sides.
Yeah.
In Nigeria.
So, my lady, they want you to keep the phone in a place so that it can pick your voice. It's like your voice is going back and forth as your hand is shaking. You get what I mean? Or maybe you can increase the volume on your hands free. I don't know what happened. Do you want to try that? Yeah, please.
Are you hearing me now?
No, we are hearing you. It's just that it is like so, you know.
Okay.
Hey, will I say it's
So,
clear? One.
Okay, that's it. That's just to contribute to what my sister just said before.
Thank you very
much. There is a point I want to bring out here.
Please.
I don't know if people have seen the video of Untouchable comedy that they did with the LOP, our star.
Oh, LUP 74. LUP, yeah.
Yes. They made a video about, they made a comedy, prank comedy on him. When I watched that video, I watched it, and I don't know if you have watched it. I will send it to your WhatsApp if you can show it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they made a video there. They prank the boy, putting gun on him. Like they all wear mask, like mask, the one that Robbie used to wear.
Mm-hmm.
So they were pointing him gun, like he should denounce LP. He said no. He was leaning down, crying, like, no, I won't denounce. They said I was singing, he was singing it. They were just harassing him, like pointing gun on him. So later, he said, why did you want to do I will shoot you now. He said, if you want to shoot me, just shoot me. That is our only hope. Just shoot me. That it's a comedy. The people are laughing about it. But when I watch it and watch it and watch it again, I said, that is the status of Nigeria today. All Nigeria, that is what we are all saying. We are all crying. We are all they are pointing gun at us. By stealing our mandate, they stole the hope of many Nigerians, like Dr. DK said in his poem. They stole the hope of all Nigerians. So after stealing the hope, what's remain? Is it for them just to kill us? So or you give us our hope back, or you kill us. That is what I say in that little comedy when I watch it. I say, wow, this is Nigeria. These people just make a comedy of Nigeria, our status now. So
thank you so much, Lady Becky. You know, the point is well delivered, and then it's actually the mood of that we are actually seeing from here too. Like, if somebody win election, people are supposed to, the mood supposed to change in preparation for the new government coming in. People are supposed to be talking about possible people that will be minister, that will be this, you know, the ideas that will come first. But today it's like everybody's just like money, in money mood. But all the best. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, let me go, and then our time is quick rounding up, so to say. So now that we are back to the man, and then a queen for that's Queen B, right there. However, let's go back to how the slot was initially shared. Okay, so I think I expect Excel to be here. But let me see. Okay, I found him. He's here. Oh, great. Sir, you are supposed to go next. And then after yourself, it would have been Sir Adebola. Then, you know, shared it around. So I'll let you go now. Then after yourself, I would let Princess as a lady. Guys, sorry. Sir Adebola, sir, I am passing it on again, but I would say you go after her. So let's manage the time quickly. Excel, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Mr.
evening,
Mayegun, thank you for the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Then before I proceed, let me say I did not support one Nigeria.